Gemini, welcome to your in-depth open reading. So the Sunday Shuffle has largely been open reads, which means, non-specific placements, no specific theme, just whatever hits the table. And I've been enjoying those quite a bit, but I often get frustrated because I'm like, I gotta stop here. I have to be very conscientious of time for the Sunday Shuffle. They have to be shorter. But there's been so many times when I've wanted to do double, triple clarifiers and lots of oracles. So I thought, you know what, let's do that. Let's do an open read at the big table, do it in-depth style. And I'll clarify it as much as I want, put down as many oracles as I want, and just see what happens. Because people have been showing me interesting things outside the kind of standard, here's the complicated lover's energy. Dealt with that. So it's been great. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I get why people tune into me with the lovers thing. I kind of take my time with it and I go into detail with it, and it's been great. But yeah, I'd like to see other things too. So, and I'm not saying love's not important, honey. It's just this super complicated connection. I mean, I get those same folks tuning in over and over again just for that, because they're still trying to understand it. They're still trying to understand it, and I respect that. I love that. I understand. I really do. Thank you all so much for handing over your complicated love lives to me. But the idea is that we're here so we can learn to make it less complicated for ourselves and in our situations. So let's just look at other things maybe. What's going on? You tell me. What's going on, honey? Some of that Gemini collective, some of that Gemini collective, but like always, regardless, take it resonates, if it does not. These are still general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all. Perfectly normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. That's it. Show me that Gemini collective energy. 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 Death, right away. Ooh. Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, the Five of Wands. Yeah, honey, you've been trying to keep yourself open towards something that's been fighting with you. So, the only placement I have, I will amend, is the overflow. Just generally what's affecting you a little bit every day or is currently very, very with you in terms of energy concentration. The rest of it, I have no idea of past or future orientation. That's the only downside to an open read. It's open. That means it's not subject to time constraints. Unless, however, I see something that indicates time, such as the Wheel of Fortune and Three of Wands. Other than that, past from present, it's typically heavily concentrated in the here and now. Okay? But you still get to decide. There it is. Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. You are doing your darndest to keep something from breaking. You don't want it to. You don't want an ending here, but it's with you. It's with you a lot. You opened up with death, and here you are at the opening with the Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, Five of Wands. Just despite the hardship and frustration here, you're saying, I'm doing my level best to understand the situation. Please tell me more. I'm also doing my level best to keep my heart open towards this, even though it's becoming increasingly difficult, because you are experiencing aggravation, frustration, kickback, and that's outside of you. So there's the argument surrounding you. You want it to be done. You want it to be over with. You want resolution. And you're trying to keep yourself open towards it. Like, how do we resolve this? And Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, I can't help but believe that that's you. And you are really staving off a full ending here. Now, what this is, I don't know. But it's with you upon opening. So, honey, we got to pick and choose our battles here. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it constitutes. But it's fairly heavy. It's thick. You could cut it with a knife. What's going on? You don't want something to break or end. I understand that. And you have put a lot of yourself into this to prevent that. But it might be for the best. I mean, think about it, honey. Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, death. Sometimes things must fall. I don't know what that is. Doesn't have to be a relationship, guys. You've got to get outside that box. It could be anything from career to a goal that you once upon a time were absolutely in love with, but it doesn't seem to be in love with you, that particular goal. It could be anything. I don't know. Let's take a look at that death, please. It might give me an idea, though. Let's see that death. Five of Cups, there's a lot of pain here. Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, waiting for our, it seems like the foundation is in jeopardy. your way of life, what you've put into it, what you've built into it, seems like it's shaky. And there's pain in there too with the Five of Cups, but you keep trying to look outward on the horizon to better concepts that are more stable and reliable, and that everything's in place. Something about this is changing. It's changing. And you can kind of feel it creeping up on you, that the foundation's taking a different shape. There's a different feeling around it. There's a different feeling in it. There's a certain absence of things. Yet when you turn around, things look visible and normal, but you feel it shifting. It's like a smell on the wind. It's there, it's the hint. You don't quite know what it is, that's what's interesting, but you feel the shadow of it. You feel the shadow. It's like a threat. And it causes a sadness in you because you can't quite define how your world is changing, but it is. You don't like it. You're trying to understand it, but I think you're trying to understand it in order to prevent it. Now, I don't know what your Ten of Pentacles looks like. I just know it's fairly extensive, yeah? It's not any one thing. It is many, many things. That's why the Ten of Pentacles is the Ten of Pentacles. More than one thing makes up our foundation. It's not just our personal money. It's not just our house. It's our career. It's our family. It's our network. It's our connectivity. Everything. It's comprehensive. But it's in place in the real world. And you're saying that could all come to an end? Oh, wait, don't let that get away with me. No, that can't be right. But no, I'm not going to let that feeling creep up on me. But it's there. What's the threat, honey? Where's that coming from? Show me this Queen of Swords, please. Show me that Queen of Swords. Show me that Queen of Swords. Thing is, I'm going to hold on to that thought. Hold on. Let's see that Queen of Swords. It's an echo of fear. Perhaps some of you have been through this before. Let's see that Queen of Swords. Show me that Queen of Swords. Seven of Wands. There it is twice. Six of Swords. Temperance. It's a little bit defensive. A little bit defensive here. There's something here that's not healing and you know it. It's not healing. Something's not healing, but you are still trying to understand it. We are still trying to understand it and defend your position at the same time. That there's something here that will not heal. It will not take. It will not stick. It's kind of like saying I've given up on healing a particular aspect. We have to move away from this. Something that's healing or has the representation of healing isn't taking. We have to move away from it. We have to give up on that particular approach. Okay. Defensive. Seven of Wands. It's almost like you're saying, whatever this is, I can't forgive it. I can't move on from it. No. That's not what I mean. You're moving on from something you're saying can't be healed. It's like you're saying, I can't forgive this, or it's impossible. But you're still kind of open to suggestions about how we can still fix this. Okay. Let's see that Page of Cups, please. Let's see that Page of Cups. You're definitely on guard. And you want a solution. You don't want this to break and end. But for some reason, you're saying there's some elements you can't forgive. What else can you suggest? It's kind of like you're saying, now what? What's next? Okay. Let's see that Page of Cups, please. Show me that Page of Cups. Show me that Page of Cups. Show me that Page of Cups, please. Ten of Swords. Dang it. Ace of Swords. Truth. Ending. Ace of Cups. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Five of Wands. That's hold on. I need to see this. That's a lot. That's a lot to process. Let's see that Five of Wands, please. Let's see that Five of Wands. Show me that Five of Wands. Show me that Five of Wands. Show me that Five of Wands, please. Show me that Five of Wands, please. I need to see this fight. Ten of Wands, the burden, Queen of Swords, strength. There you are again. And you are. They're saying you some things you can't heal or it can't be forgiven. What else have you got? What else are you suggesting? What else are you suggesting? Your heart is not, it's odd. You're showing me your heart is completely shut down in a particular aspect to whatever this is. And you're saying bypass that, find another solution. Don't, my feelings aren't in this, and I can't reconcile myself to that. There's an absence of love or forgiving something. Okay. I'm not judging you for that. I'm trying to understand it. Because you're saying you still want to participate in whatever this is, but there's an absence of feeling and or forgiveness behind it. You're like, this cannot be forgiven or healed. Take that off the table. That's not an option. How else do you suggest we fix this? Whoa. So I don't know. It's kind of a big whoa, because the energy is extremely cut in blunt force. And I understand that there's some things here that you're saying you just can't forgive, or that you can't open your heart towards it for forgiveness. Rather, that's what this is. I can't open my heart towards forgiveness. I've discussed this. I've thought about it. I've tried. I've given it time. But I cannot, and do not ask me to open my heart to forgive this, because you're going to find nothing there. That's a cold cup, at least where this situation is concerned. It's the dead cup. Don't ask me to open my heart towards forgiveness. It's not going to work. What else do you suggest? It's kind of like that. Okay, that one, that option's crossed off the list. We want to keep this going. Now what do you suggest? Because my being open to forgiveness and trusting this, or trusting you, or trusting the situation is not on the table. Because with love, when we cut out love like that, in the openness to suggest forgiveness, we're also saying we don't trust the other person or the situation. A lot of people forget that. With love, healthy love means that there's healthy trust. Now you can have love for somebody but not trust them. So that means it's love, but that's not necessarily healthy love. So you're showing me that while you might be personally attached to whatever this is, because you're invested, you keep telling me, I want to stay. It's almost like you're saying to whoever or whatever this is, I'm interested in staying. You need to convince me. But you asking me to forgive this situation isn't an option. What else do you suggest, buddy? So it made me question over here just a little bit. Do you really want to stay in this? Because I see you fighting for your ground, your territory. This is mine. I'm not going to part ways with it. But don't expect me to forgive the situation either. Don't look to my heart for that. You get to talk to my head. You get to talk to my mind, but you will not be talking to my heart on this subject. That's closed. And you said it's not an option. So I don't quite know what it is you want from this situation or someone else to fix it, to get you to stay, because you're saying it's your place too. You're invested in this too, that you want to stay in too, that you're willing to fight for it too. But the approach of love and forgiveness is not on the table. So I don't quite know what you want from this, because it's perpetuating the argument. 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and it's become exquisitely difficult. And Strength with the Queen of Swords, there you are again. That's how you opened over here. Okay. And it's almost like your will has doubled down on this. And it's getting harder because the fight has continued. Because I see this little guy, Page of Cups, and I don't know if that's coming by way of an apology or the suggestion to open your heart to forgiving me or loving this as a means to fix this. And you're like, no. 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups. You won't be appealing to that side of me. So I don't quite know what the end game here is. What's the goal? I'm trying to understand, because things are shifting. You are correct. You can smell it like it's on the wind, right? And that's why I couldn't help but wonder, because you're looking out on the horizon about how the foundation's taking shape. I couldn't help but suspect, Gemini, do you want this to be over? And now, especially seeing this, your heart's not open to reconciliation over these difficult issues, or to healing, or forgiveness. So what else is there to keep this going where you still feel at peace with it or comfortable with it? It makes me suspect part of you wants this to be over, but you want them to fight you with it or on it first. I don't know what this is, and I don't know who they are. You're saying you're adamant, and I don't know what the end goal. I don't know what you want it to be. So let's say that's 7 of Wands. I'm trying to understand what you're fighting for, because you've already made it very clear, love and forgiveness via love, no. But we're still fighting, we're still in this. And it involves the foundation. Let's see that 7 of Wands, please. Let's see that 7 of Wands. Just to reiterate, I read the cards, guys. I read what's here, not what isn't. So if you don't identify with any of this, I understand. It makes perfect sense to me. So don't force it to fit when it doesn't. I'm here to understand. That's my only job. So please separate myself from the message, okay? It has not to do with me. And I don't want anyone to experience anything like this. My job is to understand why. And maybe offer some reflection that might be helpful. Let's see that Seven of Wands. Let's see that Seven of Wands. The Chariot, the Queen of Cups, the Fool. You say your heart is not open like that. Your heart is not open like this. I don't, honey, your heart's not in this. You have a heart here. You do. You can't show me the Fool, Queen of Cups, and the Chariot and not have a heart. Of course you do. You have love that you would love to move forward in, but just not with this. And yet I still see you participating in it. You've made it very clear. The fact that you're not showing me any love or forgiveness via love through this tells me you're not emotionally in it. So do you even want this to continue? I don't know what your goal is. You're saying, I'm not done with this, I'm not done with this, I'm not done with this, but in here you are. Or you have been for some time. And I don't know what situation's sparking with you now to allow you to claim it, but that tells me it predates whatever happened to cause all this frustration. And I'm not going that far back. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not even seeing past orientation. I'm kind of like plunked down to right where you are right now. And there's that blockage. The Fool, the Queen of Cups, the Chariot. That all speaks, my heart's open and it's ready to dance. It's ready to love 1,000 loves. It's ready to go out there and explore the world with whomever's at my side and mean it with conviction, with that fullness of heart and the willingness to open up and just get in the Chariot and go. We don't question it. We don't look back. You're like, no, no, no. But I still see you engaging in this. It's like, again, don't look at my heart to participate in this. How are we physically going to rectify this? I don't know that we can separate those two, honey. It's almost like you're saying, I'm not taking this personally. It doesn't hurt me or offend me, but don't look at my feelings, though. You know? As a solution. My feelings are not a solution. What else you got? I don't know why I keep coming back to that, and I have no idea why it's so blunt. Show me that Five of Pentacles, please. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Eight of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. Now we have two people here. There you are. You showed me consistently the Queen of Swords several times. Very consistent energy here, so I know it's you. I'm not saying that you're female. What I'm saying is that your energy is showing up consistently. It's like no feelings in this, none whatsoever. These are practical decisions. But the thing is, it's like these practical decisions are causing you, and whatever this is, a lot of stress and a lot of harm. Whatever this is seems to have personally offended you a great deal, and I understand that. You said forgiveness isn't an option, but then why are you still participating in it like it could be fixed? That's what I don't understand. Your heart's not in it. Whatever this is, it feels like you were looking for a reason to detach from it, and now you have it. So make good on it. You know? You don't need to turn yourself into a bad guy. Whatever it is that you were looking for to part ways with this, you got it. It's here. You don't need much more permission to do what's right for you. You don't need it anymore. You don't have to keep fighting with it. It's done. It's done. Whatever this is done. And you're right. Whomever is attached to you, this King of Pentacles person, they're emotionally tapped out from this point. They're emotionally unavailable. They're exhausted. This is the source of the breakage. You're both afraid of abandonment. Is that why you continue to stay, the both of you? I don't know, honey. The fear of abandonment seems like too high of a price to pay for this kind of environment. Because you two, as far as I can tell, have already abandoned each other where it counts the most. That's your motivation gone. So you asking this person to stand there and fight with you about why you should stay, you both should be saying, we both have reasons to go. A foundation can't be worth that. No foundation in the world can be worth that level of pain and aggravation and anger and frustration and helplessness every day. It's a helpless situation. I'm not saying you're supposed to find your heart in this. You said it's clearly not on the table. Okay? So if you both accept that neither one of you is emotionally available in this, but you're still arguing, then that means you haven't actually come to terms with the new agreement. And the new agreement is that neither one of you is loving this. But you're not at peace with it either. Two people who choose, like, say, a relationship out of convenience or stability, and they know their heart's not in it, that was their choice. And it was an adult choice made by those two people. That was their particular relationship. You know, and there's no harm in that. There's no fault in that. It's what two people agreed upon. That's their decision as a couple. No one has any right to intercede their opinion on what two people agreed upon, and it made sense to them. Nobody does. But given the level of pain and frustration here suggests we'd rather have love in it than not. Or rather have love in our lives than not. Because you two keeping a peace over a foundation isn't working. You two trying to force each other to fit and stay in something that neither one of you clearly wants to be in isn't working. The agreement here isn't working. Both of you would rather have love, just not with each other. And whatever this unforgivable thing is, you made it clear you can't forgive it. So it's an impossible task then to convince you to stay, or to fight for you to stay, and it's an impossible task for them to maintain an interest in keeping you to stay. Yes, you can accuse this person of being emotionally absent, but then again, so are you. And hopefully I'm seeing here the agreement between two people to break this. Because all I do is seeing denying your heart taking off in another direction that's healthy and open and vivacious and alive. By staying in this. It's like you two are agreeing to be angry with each other and be pissed off with each other every day, all day. And no foundation in the world is worth that. None. None. All it does is erode you and your character and everything you believe in or don't believe in. Is that who you are? No. I don't want that for either person here. That's horrible. Not in terms of judgment, just as in psychological harm as a human being. That's horrible. It's emotional harm. It's psychological harm. It is better to call it quits than this. Surely. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And I promise you, it is causing you both more damage than anything else. Let's see that Ten of Swords, please. King of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Okay. So here we have, again, I just see the emotional break here. I think you two are better suited as acquaintances, to be honest. Whatever that is. You call it friends if you want, fine. But I just... If there's any proposal about let's continue to stick this out and do the best we can for each other and try to recoup some feelings, I disagree. You two have already done that. It doesn't work. But I don't... No, the heart's broken on both sides. Someone's absent. The other person's hurt and pissed off. Saying forgiveness isn't an option. And when forgiveness isn't an option, that means trust isn't an option. I'm not saying you don't have your reasons. What I'm saying is listen to yourself. If you can't forgive or love this, that means you can't trust it. So why would you keep it in your life? Or try to work with it? That's no good. That's no good. That's no good. And that's no way to live. So yes, indeed, you can feel that your foundation is shifting. And I was like, do you want it to be over? Part of you anticipates loss. But another part of you wants to stick around and fight for this, but specifically have that person fight with you about why you should stay when your heart's already gone. So honey, if you have an out, if you have a real legitimate out, take it. Take it. Maybe you two are going through the motions. You're putting yourself through it because you feel like you're supposed to. I don't see how it benefits either one of you to stay connected at this point. I just don't. Let's get some advice, please. Someone accuses the other of not knowing what they want in their heart. Someone accuses the other of being selfish. You're both accusing each other of the same thing. Really? Someone accuses the other person of being emotionally selfish. It's all about you. You never give to me. And the other person says, well, I can tell that you still have feelings for XYZ and it's a betrayal. Okay. And you don't really love me. I think you're both right. I think, because you both seem to be giving a good tit for tat energy, and is that the kind of relationship that you want? There's accusations on both sides. That means you're both a little right and you're probably both a little wrong. But we're at I'm seeing the height of this energetic tension where there is no resolve on either side because neither one of you really wants resolve. I think both of you, low-key, can't admit it to yourself yet that you both want to call it quits and you just don't know how. It's a hard thing to admit. And most of this has to do with anger, and I got to play my anger out instead of understanding that our anger, while it can be a very strong, powerful motivator, it can only sustain so long. I've met two types of people, really. People whose anger are short-lived, burst, it's natural, it's normal, they got to speak it, they work through it, and they don't allow it to consume them. And there's people who linger in it way too long, and their rage just takes over. They're the ones who end up cynical, bitter, and alone because they've driven everyone else away. It has short-term benefits, anger does, but it has long-term consequences the longer we play around in it. And the more we insist, well, I'm getting back at them, or I'm going to make them stick around me till they see the light, or they see my point of view, all you're doing is giving them more and more reason to separate. I don't know if the accusation, stands. I really don't know. But somebody here is being accused. You don't know what you want. You never did. And you're still hung up on somebody from the past, or you're obsessed with them, or your heart's obsessed with them. And I don't know if that accusation is true. I have no clue. I just see that that's where it's being driven. How can you love me? Of course you're not emotionally available. You're still hung up on whoever. You know? And the other person's like, I would love you more, but you're so damn selfish. All you do is think about you and what it is that you need and your happiness being fulfilled. It's toxic and it's combative. So when I see you contemplating that foundation, part of you is fearful of it. You both are. Let's make that clear. You're both afraid of abandonment. Okay. And it could be for financial reasons or because you already have so much in place. And it's going to be hard to disentangle it. Okay. It's going to be much harder. Neither one of you can see this yet. It's going to be a lot harder with a much higher price tag for you two to force yourselves to stay together than whatever separation costs are associated with disentangling. I promise you, one's going to far outseed the other. You know, very much. You think it's imbalanced now? Shit. Fast forward this a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're still forcing each other to stay together because you're afraid of abandonment. You, like I said, at the opening or somewhere back there, you both already have abandoned each other. Okay. I'm not really interested in who started what. I don't know who started the war. I don't care. I'm interested in how it ends. That's what I'm interested in. The Sun. Yet hope remains. Of course it does. Justice. Scales of balance. 6 of Pentacles. Hope for a balanced future. Taking action towards that. How so? Ace of Swords. Queen of Wands. Eight of Wands. Okay. I need you to get outside of your head and everything that's going on here. I need you to start communicating to someone who can hear you from a fair and balanced point of view. That's who I need you to speak with. They have good advice for you. They will give you a sense of hope. And I don't mean that person who encourages, bless them. There's always that person who is involved emotionally in some way. It's usually a family member or a friend, and they're just like, just stick to it. You'll work out your problems. That's well intended, but it's not realistic. I need you to talk to someone who is unbiased in this, who has a balanced point of view that can lend you perspective and give you some hard truths that will raise your confidence about what to do. Because you have one or two options before you. A, you can either open your heart towards this so you can learn to love it again, forgive it, or trust it. Or B, understand you want to go in the opposite direction. But we got to pick one of those lanes. Sticking around until you argue the other person to death is exactly what's going to happen. And then there's so much for the foundation at that point. Okay. But yes, I need you to talk to somebody here who has an unbiased or unbalanced, and they don't have a dog in that fight. Okay. That's what we want. We want that person's opinion. They will give us good advice. And it will also help to alleviate some of the own pressure and stress that you are feeling, not to mention that knowledge is power. Ace of Swords. When you start getting more insight from a balanced opinion, it's going to raise your confidence about what to do. Honey, you can either find room in your heart to love this again and forgive it and trust it, or not. Now, here's the thing. If you're like, but I love them still, if I'm being honest, but I can't forgive it or trust it, then you still have an answer. Like I said, you can still love somebody and not trust them. And it can either be repaired or it can't. And if it's beyond repair, we have to accept it, acknowledge it, process it, deal with it, move on. But what you don't do is wallow in the chaos. It just creates more chaos. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know why it's hitting like this today. And I'm sorry if you're a Gemini who identifies with this and you're going through it. I am sympathetic. I want what's best for you, not what's worst for you. And you have some lovely elements attached to you that's apparent when you see yourself outside of it. So again, what does that tell you? I can still feel and find the best of me outside of this. Again, what does that tell you? That kind of tells me you've been wanting an exit for a long time, and perhaps you didn't know it until now. Because there's a longing here. A weird sort of longing. I had a hard time identifying at the opening that you've always been kind of low-key disappointed with this, but perhaps you didn't know how much until whatever this is presented itself. So if you were like not fully aware that you were looking for an exit, honey, you got one. So don't take it. Take it and go with it as opposed to dragging it out. See, I was vilified this whole time. I was correct this whole time in feeling I didn't want this anymore. Now I know why. We don't need to do that. You've been given your out. Take it. If that's what you want. If that's what you want. And the foundation be damned. There's no foundation. If you two can end this peacefully, in terms of this is mine, this is yours, and call it a draw, that would be great. You have a chance to recoup some part of your life and your energy and your sense of self-worth and value, because right now this situation is bringing out the best in neither of you. And this half-hearted dedication to try to work things out, I'm not buying it, neither are you. It's still got a Ten of Swords attached to it. So we already know the outcome of that, and you made the outcome clear on your opening. You couldn't forgive it. What else you got? What else is there? If you can't forgive a situation or a person, why the hell would you stay? You're already going to know what you're going to get from yourself and from the situation. You know? It's no good. It's no good. Damn. Dang. I am sympathetic. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I am. I just understand that you are participating in it. I see you fighting right back. And I know you feel vindicated by this and vilified. And you have your reasons. Yeah, I'm sure that they have theirs too. In fact, I saw it. You know? So don't participate anymore. Tree, I know that's what we're talking about. The Ten of Pentacles. I know that's the concern here. What happens to that? What happens to that? You can have a peaceful separation of that tree. Envy, protection, in reverse. The Eye. Yeah, we've lost sight of the stability. Somebody feels less inclined every day to protect what was built. In other words, the foundation's becoming increasingly less important. Their eye isn't as sharp on it as it used to be. It's because it doesn't mean the same thing. Hence the opening, why I hesitated. Do you even want this anymore? Because it's looking like you're looking outside of this and you acknowledge that part of it's shifting and changing. Perhaps you want it more than you understood. You're losing sight of the foundation because I agree it's not enough to keep you in play at this level of pain and disappointment and frustration. And the biggest marker of it's time to call it quits is the ability to forgive or the inability to forgive. That pretty much says everything. You can either trust me or this, or you can't. And it takes work. But it's looking like you're saying we're past the point of that particular work, Christina. So again, I'm going by the cards today. Let's not drag this out any more than we have. Key, you have the key to lock this or unlock it. Yeah, I gave you one of two scenarios. But you do have the key to lock or unlock this. You know? You can't force your heart to feel what isn't there. 100%. That's not what I'm recommending. I told you. You can either find it in your heart as something to love it, forgive it, trust it, or you can't. And if you can't, you still have your answer. It just may not be the one you want. There's not going to be a quick, tidy, silver bullet here. Solution, magic pill, whatever it is you're looking for. There isn't. It's either going to be this or that. And there's a C. This is the C. Keep doing this. Okay. The Golden Palace. Yeah, no, it does feel like we built a lot. And I'm sure you did. The Bone Collector. The Golden Palace. I know, you might be the envy of other people. It's kind of like if they only knew, right? And then there's a Bone Collector. This is the ancient wisdom heavily associated with the earth energy. Because they're so slow to move, they witnessed many, many sunrises and sunsets and everything in between. So the idea is it's the wisdom of the ancients. It's a slower energy, but one that's comfortable with itself. That says it has seen many things come and go. You know, many things have come and gone. There's time for birth and there's time for death and everything else in between. At Golden Palace, I have no doubt. Sorry, I did see Cleaning House. That Golden Palace, it took a lifetime to achieve. But for some of you, it might have started to feel like a gilded cage. I don't know. Something that you felt a slave to, but that you never really necessarily wanted to maintain it, not for a while. There's education here. Some of you have gone back to school. Some of you might teach in education. You could be a student. I do not know. But some of you are going through a phase possibly of self-learning. Okay. In the sacred pool. Okay. Finding strength in the sacred pool. In other words, that place that is sacred to you, that's where I want you to spend more of your time, concentrate more of your strength and your sense of self-learning into the sacred pool. So that's kind of like your version of the Four of Swords, whatever that is to you. Your quiet time, your down, it's a place just for you. Think of it as your own particular sanctuary. I need you to spend more time there, learn about what the hell's going on, how it is you see yourself. Is this a really good reflection of you as well as the situation? Okay? It's either fixable or it's not. With you, with them, it takes two. And do you, this is the biggest question above all, Gemini, do you even want this anymore? For real. For reals, for reals. You already know what to expect from the foundation or your Golden Palace at this point. You already know what to expect. It's the other person you share it with. Is it worth it? It's not so golden. Doesn't look so golden to me. We need to have these really strong reflection points, honey. Really strong reflections here. And I need you, I'm starting to see that Bone Collector as the one I've kept telling you about. They have the good influence, unbiased party. They have no stake in the family. They have no stake in this, that. They can give you real unbiased advice about your situation and help you make sense of it. That way you can figure out what's right for you. You can say it's your priest, you can say it's a counselor, you can say it's a whoever, I don't know. But I don't want to hear that useless advice. It's not going to help you. Girl, this, that, and the other. You could do, or, you know what, you should stay. The Bible says that chapter whatever and whatever. And it all comes from a good place. I've heard it all, guys. I've heard it all. All the best well-intended advice. The let me blow up your ego advice. Let me put it in another context for you so you'll do the right thing according to my bias and rules. Okay? All that bullshit. No, we need a neutral, unbiased party to help us clarify our thoughts. Okay, and I feel like that's who this bone collector is. Someone who can see things that you can't, because that's their job. Did you realize that you were doing this every day, Gemini? Do you realize that this was your world every day? Is this how you would normally act? Is this what it was like when you first met them? Let's point some things out to you that you might be missing, because when you're in it, it's right in front of your face, so you can't get perspective. That's what outside, unbiased parties do. You're right here. You can't see anything beyond this. Somebody who's outside of you has exactly that. Has a comprehensive picture of you without being in it. That's their benefit. That's why we need that person's opinion. Okay? Or their advice, really, not their opinion. We need their advice. Okay. New Moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. I feel like, yeah, we have definitely lost sight of the positive. Some of you have some very strong Sag in your chart. Make time for self-love. That's what that sacred pull energy is, where you need to get back in touch with you, what you're about, and what it is that you did not sign up to. And if you didn't sign up to this, and you know it, and you kind of want to part ways with it, and you're having a hard time admitting it to yourself, because that would kind of make you a bad guy, right? No, you're not a bad guy. It's either right for you or it's wrong for you. That's it. We don't need the other person to be a bad guy to do something. We don't need ourselves to be angry with someone else to do something. It's either right for us or it's wrong for us. That's it. You need to make, and part of self-love is understanding this. We have to understand this. We don't need to get our energy and our environment so worked up and chaotic before we can finally, quote unquote, do something. Okay, and find a balance. That's what I'm saying. That there's that energy here. Is somebody here can help you understand these concepts better, and finding that balance within you and around you and what's right for you, as we've been discussing. It's here. It could literally be Libra. It's come up several times. But somebody who can give you that outside perspective and balance. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Okay, we have the Medina of Pisces, Aries, Big Dollar Bill, Earth sign, the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, somebody who's constantly busy, 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 busy. Heart with a nurse's cap, yes, I agree, we need to do some healing. The dragon here, I'm seeing that as a very tense, tight, argumentative situation. Also Aries, Leo, Sag, the letter L. E. The great white shark in reverse, Scorpio, but also the lack of pursual, no energy to pursue anymore. The need to kind of pursue, I mean, that's what the great white shark does. They just constantly moving, and somebody can't pursue anymore. They just can't pursue anymore. Dragonfly in reverse, I have to agree. I don't see a transformation here. I see the possibility or the shadow of an ending that two people cannot seem to embrace, that that's the natural course of things. That would be in both of their best interests. Not because they refuse to transform, but because neither of them really wants to transform in it. They don't. I think that both of you want to shed this like an old shell, and there's no wrong in admitting that. And there's no foundation worth this lack of growth. It's anti-growth. We take away from ourselves when we're constantly fighting and cutting at ourselves and the other person. That's not who we are. Good love, healthy love asks us to change and to challenge and to grow. Not stay stuck in a quagmire of unending arguments and fragmentation and bullshit. So by that definition, again, Gemini honey, it's not healthy. I don't want this to transform. What I've seen today, I don't want it to transform. That's me personally, though, looking at the cards. I don't want that to transform. I want it to be done. Everything is here. 5 of Pentacles twice, 10 of Swords, death. Combativeness, the inability to forgive. Everything suggests this should not transform. It's reached its final state. Accepting its final state. That's the tricky bit. Feather, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, of course. Letter E. And the camel. Once more, the earth energy. Okay. I do hope this helped. I understand and appreciate the fact this was what you call a heavy reading today. It was very comprehensive and in-depth, which was the whole point of open readings. Again, I could see where this did not appeal or does not appeal or does not speak to you at all, or frankly, it's just not one of those happy readings with butterflies and rainbows. So that tells me you're new to the channel if you in any way expected that, because I do the real shit. My regular Gemini crew should know this, and also my regular Gemini crew would also know that you should have tuned out a long time ago if it doesn't apply to you. So, if anything here doesn't speak to you, it's because it's not yours. That's it. It was different. I wanted different, I got different. I don't know who I tuned into this round, but fair play. It's fair play. It's fair play. Somebody somewhere needed to see it, and given the level of difficulty, I actually have to agree. I do. Okay, like I said, I hope this helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.